Hey guys, quick update since the last time I updated the blog. The last time I updated the blog, I wrote a quick article on how my car was breaking down, the financial issues that, a lot of single parents face, especially me, those kind of financial issues, as well as my growing faith and relationship with God. Since then, a lot of stuff has happened, and I wanted to write all about it, but so much has happened that it's overwhelming to me. So I decided just to make a video, and that's probably why I put it off a little bit. So sorry. So here's your video. Um, the week after I wrote that, so it was about 2 weeks ago, I had a little emergency, and Tuesday. It was a Tuesday. I wasn't feeling very good through work. I could tell something was wrong, and I didn't know what, but just something was wrong. Tuesday night, I left work to go get my kids from my mother-in-law's, who was watching them that day, and by the time I got home and picked up the kids and started cooking dinner, I couldn't stand up. I was in so much pain. I literally couldn't stand up. So I called my mom, told her to get her little butt over here and help me with the kids. I just said, they need a bath. We need to read our Bible. We need to do all this stuff. And I was just like, I physically can't do it right now, Mom. And she's like, okay, I'll come over and help. Whatever, that's fine. So she was going to come over and help me put them to bed. By the time she got here, I was curled up in a ball on the couch and just bawling. I was in so much pain. And going through a whole emergency appendectomy with my ex-husband when we were married, I knew that since the pain was on the right side, I was kind of asking for it, and I knew something was not right, and it was pretty bad. So once my mom got here, she said that she needed to take me to the hospital. So we ended up going to the hospital. My mother-in-law picked up the kids from the hospital, which was just, I have to say huge thanks to my mother-in-law, my mom, and my sister for helping me through this whole week. That whole week, I could not have done it without you guys. They literally went shopping for me, made sure the kids were taken care of. They watched the kids every single day, everything. They were amazing. But anyways, my mother-in-law picked up the kids from the hospital, and my mom and I were sitting there, had IVs going through me, everything, and I was just sitting there waiting to hear if it was my appendix, if I was going to be going through surgery or what, Thankfully, it was not my appendix, but they did find an ovarian cyst that had burst, and so that thankfully led to no surgery and everything. But then, I went home, was medicated, completely asleep for 2 days. But by Friday, I was still in that as much pain. I was still so much in pain that I called my doctor, and he said that the pain should have gone. So we went back in to do more tests and everything, and we found that it had all gotten infected, and then ended up infecting my kidneys and all that. And so ended up having to do a lot of different things to get rid of all that. So, but thankfully the antibiotics, everything else, I was fine. By Sunday I was feeling okay, so it was pretty good. Sunday I took my kids to church, and in my car, not only had it broken down again that day, when it broke down, the air conditioning had cut off, and ever since I bought the car, the windows have never worked. The back left one kind of worked. If we pushed it down, you could get it down, but you could never get it back up, which was just so much fun, especially in the winter. Great. But with no windows, no air conditioning, and it being 95 degrees here in Utah, I was so nervous, especially with the kids. I was so nervous. So after church, the kids, they had a little meltdown, and they were bawling the whole way home, and just said, "It's hot. I can't do this, Mom. It's just too hot." And we're just crying, and their poor little faces, they were bright red. They were bawling. There's sweat everywhere. It was just, it was not pretty. And so after I dropped them off with their dad for Sunday afternoon, I went up the mountain and went hiking. And if anyone knows me, I'm always hiking normally, but when I'm going through a crisis, I always go hiking because that's my certain time with God. I feel like that's the best way I can connect with God. So what I did is I just went up there. I took my Bible, ended up reading by the lake up in the mountains right by my house, and just broke down. I just broke down and just started crying and just said, God, please let there be a way. Let there be a way. I honestly had no way to buy a new car, had no money, still have no money. Like, you know, it's one of those things when you're a single parent, there's other things that matter. And I will say I'm not the best financially with money. I'm horrible with money still to this day, but I do know, you know, the little things. There's been a lot of stuff that I've cut out and everything. Anyone, if you know my life story a little bit, if you've grown up with me or you know things, you will know that I was born with not just a silver spoon in my mouth, but a platinum spoon. I was handed every single thing I've ever wanted. I grew up with private planes, $1 million house, just every lavish lifestyle, traveled everywhere I could ever imagine. If I wanted something, got it in 5 minutes by just calling my dad and getting the money. I went from all that to being completely homeless with 2 kids and working my way to being on our own and everything. So I've learned the little things are so amazing, and I have been so humbled, but at the same time I'm so blessed, and just know that there are so many other people out there that are even worse off. And so I'm just thankful and humbled that I've even been given this opportunity. But by Monday night, I had a new car, and it was all God. And I can't say enough. I honestly, like, I'm floored. I'm still so in shock that it even happened, that I don't even know how it happened. I have a new car. But I'm so thankful, and I know without a doubt that it is all God that made that happen. And I honestly just think that prayer is the most beautiful thing. It just, you know, you can't go anywhere without praying. And I don't even know what to say. I'm just so humbled. I'm turning bright red because I'm just like, I don't even know how this all happened. But I'm so thankful for this to even happen. And, you know, I want you guys to understand that it's the little things that matter. You know, it's not about getting the big things. Honestly, like, I could care less. Like, instead of getting a bouquet of flowers, I'm happy with 1 petal. Like, I don't care anymore. Like, those little things are what make your life. It's the way you look at life and the way that you choose to see it, and the beauty of it all. I think that's what's amazing. That night on my way home, I actually called my mom at 11:30 at night and just called my mom and was like, Mom, guess where I'm at? And she's like, well, where? And I was like, McDonald's. I was like, I'm totally going through the drive-thru, rolling down my window, Mom. You don't understand. She's like, okay, Kristen, that's great. And I just was like so excited that I could even roll down a window. Like, I don't think you understand. Going through a drive-thru, so embarrassing, having to open your door, take off your seatbelt, and get out just to hand the guy the money and get all your food because your windows won't roll down. It's embarrassing, you know? But at the same time, I was thankful to even just have a car running, so I don't really care. But now to even have a car that runs, a great car that the windows work, the air conditioning works, everything's perfect, I'm just so thankful. So, again, huge thanks to my mom and my sister and my mother-in-law for helping me out through probably the roughest week of my life this year so far. And, you know, just so thankful for all the opportunities that I've been given to make my life better with the kids. So I thank everyone who helped me out on everything else. So just, you know, hopefully, I know there's been a few people writing in asking if I'm going to do the 3rd part to the How to Date a Single Mom. I will. Hopefully I get to that pretty soon. But either way, there's going to be some really cool stuff on the blog soon. So we're just kind of planning out a whole new thing with the blog and everything, and trying to tie it in with all the other stuff that I'm doing as well. So just stay tuned. I promise there will be some really awesome stuff. And you know, if you guys ever have any questions, please feel free to tweet me at Kristen Rafajko on Twitter, or you know, write me on Facebook, or even email me. Everything's on the About page, and you guys can get in touch with me there. And I would love to hear your guys' stories, your struggles, anything that I can pray for you guys, or anything you want to ask me, please feel free. So thank you guys so much for following.